The great and powerful Buckeye of Oz is here tonight. The Swami of college football is here to give you your predictions and to answer your questions. That's right, everybody. The Podfather will give you everything you need to know, not by an 8-ball, a magic 8-ball, not by a magical sphere, but through the head knowledge of the Podfather. That's right. The great and powerful Podfather is here to answer your questions. How's everybody doing tonight? Smash that like button if you don't mind. Let's have a good time tonight. The phone lines are open. 567-483-1999 if you want to have a good time and call us tonight. We've got a lot of things we can talk about. No doubt about it. Let's start right here this evening. Ohio State has parted ways with assistant coach Joe Lieberger. He was working with the linebackers the last 3 years. Apparently, there was an accusation made about Mr. Lieberger. There was I guess you could say, a investigation done by the university. They found wrongdoing, and he was fired. I don't know if you're taking notes or not up there in Ann Arbor, folks, but that's how you do it. An accusation is made, an investigation is done, and if there's wrongdoing found, you get rid of the person. You don't get rid of the person after the FBI finds out. You don't get rid of the person after law enforcement arrests them. You get rid of the person after you do the investigation or you hire someone to do the investigation long before there's any instances like that are done. So let's get that out of the way first, because the trolls from Ann Arbor like to think that this is somehow comparable with what they're doing up there in that stinky dump of a city. But that is not the case. No, Ohio State got way out ahead of this one. So, all right. Exactly, Aaron. They all bury their heads in the sand, unlike Ohio State. And yeah, Mr. Lieberger's his lawyer is saying that he was unjustly fired. We'll see, but it sounds like Ohio State, after doing an investigation, felt like that wasn't the case. That's what happens when you run a clean program like Ryan Day is doing. So we wanted to get that out of the way first and foremost. Now, tonight, I am going to, when you call in, I want to answer your questions tonight. If you have a question in the chat, super chat it so I make sure that I can see it, and we'll answer your questions. Let's do some predictions tonight as well, everybody. So it's going to be a good time. Oh, yes, indeed. The Wizard of Boggs. That's right. That is right. Oh, shoot. Very good. Very good. I enjoy that. That's a good one, Ryan Day's beard. Let's go right to the phone lines. They're lining up. They're lighting up the phone lines tonight already. Let's start with it. Tyler, what's happening, buddy?
Doing good, Eric. Doing good. How are you doing this evening?
I feel froggy. And that's not just because I have a new green screen that I'm playing with this evening. I'm feeling froggy tonight because it's been a while since I've been able to do just a call-in show by myself with all you great people.
Well, I can't see it right now, but you know what I find funny, Eric, is how Michigan fans can look you dead in the eye and they can tell you that people like Mr. Lindenberger, I think that's his name, they can tell you, oh, he is comparable to what Matt Leaf did.
Not even close. And Tyler, and on top of that, Ohio State actually did an investigation long before anybody knew about it, and law enforcement or the FBI or the NCAA ever had to get involved. They took care of it themselves because they run a clean program.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to do it. When you get a problem like this, you're supposed to eradicate it immediately. Because what it's going to do is, if you have something that involves SA or SH, anything like that, it destroys all your organization
Yep.
to the foundation. That's what they tell in the military. Like, if someone gets an SA in the Army, Eric, it not only destroys your reputation for your entire career, but also it it ruins the reputation of that unit forever. So the fact that we had one guy that had this accusation, that leaves a bad taste and a bad reputation.
It does.
So eradicating it immediately, I take hats off to Ryan Day for that. We don't need those types of people at Ohio State.
100%. You're absolutely 100% correct. And if this is wrongdoing and whatever accusation was made is found out to be false, I'm sure Ohio State will financially make sure that Mr. Lieberger is well compensated for his hardship. But you cannot risk the program or anything that has been achieved by this program or will be achieved by this program in the future based off one man's poor mistakes or decisions. And so Ohio State eradicates that, like you said, Sean. They eradicated it. They cut the snake off by the head before there was ever any problems. That is how it is now done in this day and age. And whether it's a he said she said thing or not, that's beside the point. You've placed yourself in a situation where this has now happened, and it falls back on the program, makes the program look bad. And Ryan Day refuses Tyler to give anybody any ammunition to fire back at him and what this team has achieved. Hats off to Ryan Day and the athletic department for making sure that this is taken care of.
Absolutely. And you know what's even like I talked to two Michigan fans again today.
I'm sorry.
For some reason, Eric, because I can't get away from these people. Apparently, and I asked the first one, what do you think of Matt Weiss? I asked him that legitimate question, and he was the first Michigan fan, I'm going to be honest, that felt absolutely embarrassed.
Burks has said he's been
the first one to ever feel remorse, ever feel disgusted by his program. I was like, huh. So there are some of you that actually like don't take all this stuff that you guys are doing. Actually, you take pride in it. You guys actually are taking responsibility for your actions, or you're embarrassed. So there are some of you out there.
They are. They're out there. They're just not. They're not the vocal people on Twitter and Facebook and X and what am I missing? TikTok now that's run their mouths so much. So, but yeah, Burks has shown remorse too as well, but he's still trying to defend his program. Just like any of us would if the shoe was on the other foot. And I'm thankful it's not on the other foot. And that alone is why we can celebrate this. So, that being said, Tyler, I'm glad that Ohio State, like I said, took care of this from the beginning. Now, I do have to ask you a question, Tyler.
Uh-huh.
We are 5 months out from the beginning of the season. This Sunday, we will reveal to everybody one man's particular top 25 that we will discuss on the Roundtable show this upcoming Sunday. Will Ohio State make the college football playoff in 2025? Yes or no, and why?
Yes.
Why?
Because, for one, every year, at the bare minimum, as Ohio State, I can see 10 wins easy. every year, unless we somehow like had a catastrophe where we just have a somehow a 2011 year all over again where everything just like we everything does a Jim Tressel situation all over again, Eric. I don't see us ever missing the playoffs.
There will be a day, Tyler, when we miss the playoffs. That will eventually happen.
Yeah.
But more times than not, I think we're going to make it. That's for sure. So excellent. Now, you are with the Buckeye of Oz, the Wizard of Boggs, if you will. So,
Wizard of Boggs.
so I did
I
not
like that.
I did not coin that. I have to give credit where credit is due. That was Ryan Days Beard who came up with that one tonight. I like it. By the way, Wizard of Oz was my favorite movie as a kid. And boy, have they ruined
Oh,
that.
really?
Oh yeah, I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Who's your favorite character?
Tin
I just
Man.
want to
Tin
ask
Man.
that
Give
real
me the
quick.
Tin Man, dude. All day long. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like the Tin Man. I never liked the Scarecrow. Everybody likes the Scarecrow. I was a Tin Man fan. Yep.
What about the Cowardly Lion?
Cried too much.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was a Tin Man fan. Anyways, that's beside the point. What questions or I'm here to answer any question you might have, Tyler. I am here tonight. I've
Okay.
got the great and powerful Wizard of Boggs behind me. I got the fire and the flames tonight. I can answer whatever question you have. Hit me.
So this question is, what would be satisfying to you? Because what would be satisfying for you in this year? What would satisfy you as a Buckeye fan? If we Is it just making the playoffs or actually repeating as champions? If obviously that would be the ideal situation, us repeating as champions. But what's ideal in your opinion for this year to be successful?
Number 1, beat Michigan. Number 2, make the CFP. Number 3, win the Big Ten. Number 4, win the CFP. Going back to back is very, very difficult. Ohio State has never done it before in the 9 national championships they've won. They've never repeated. No coach outside of Woody Hayes has ever won more than one at Ohio State. For me to put those expectations on Ryan Day and the 2025 team, I think is unfair. But for me as a
Mm-hmm.
fan, I want the win against the team up north. But in all honesty, I think the goal of this team is to get back to the CFP. That's the number one goal now for every team in college football. Get to the CFP. That's what it is. College football has changed. We might as well adapt to it. It's about getting to the playoffs. If you get there, you've got a fighting chance, right? That's what happened last year. We got hot at the right
Mm-hmm.
time, and we ran through the playoffs like Mexican water through a man from Flint, Michigan. Okay, it's it was smooth. Okay, so you just got to get there. You got to have a chance. $2 super chat from Bobby Mack. What is up, my fellow Pod Squad masterpieces? Good to see you, Bobby Mack. Thank you for the super chat, keeping the lights on here at the OHIO podcast. Again, if anybody has a question for the Swami tonight, the Wizard of Boggs. I'm adopting that name. Thank you, Ryan Days Beard. Tonight's the night to ask it. I feel like giving some wild predictions. So I think Ohio State goes 10-2 in the regular season, and we make the college football playoff. And I do believe we beat the team up north this year. Those are my predictions for the season. Does that answer your question, Tyler?
Yeah, it does. Now I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, what would be the most satisfying thing for you to see from this team this year? What would make
Outside of
you
going up to Ann
what
Arbor
would
and
make
laying the
you the
smackdown on
most
them?
satisfied as a Buckeye fan this year?
Oh, well, I mean, it's definitely beating Michigan, right?
Hmm?
Outside of that, though, because that's the obvious answer. I think it would be beating Texas in game one, beating another SEC team, keeping that opening season game streak alive that Ohio State right now has the second longest opening season win streak in college football. You want to keep that alive. You're going up against the mighty SEC team, the what's going to be the top ranked SEC team coming into the season in Texas. Right now, I believe Texas is going to probably come in ranked number one or number two in the AP to start the season, will be my prediction. Again, the Swami's in the house, the Wizard of Boggs. So that would be my prediction of what we see there. Yeah, that's my prediction. Adam Dowling with a 4.99 super chat. Thank you. Adam's our residential Notre Dame fan. Good to have you with us tonight, buddy. Let the hammer come down already. I know, no kidding. Let's see it happen, man. All right, Tyler. One more. Anything else, buddy, before we go to the next caller?
No, Eric. I'll be in the chat moderating, and yep,
By the way,
call and get the next caller on.
yeah. By the way, Tyler, you got a new moderator, a partner. We wanna
I know. I saw.
we wanna
Congratulations, Lacey.
we wanna thank Lacey for agreeing to be a mod on our channel. So thank you, Lacey, and thank you, Tyler. Appreciate the phone call, buddy. OH.
Kyle.
All right. It's already hot in here with these flames over my shoulder. Let's make it a little bit hotter. All right. Let's make it a little bit hotter. What's up, TG?
What up, Eric?
How do you like my new background? It's pretty flashy, huh?
Oh, it's actually pretty. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It really is.
I got this guy staring over my shoulder though. He's pretty angry. It kind of looks like Jim Harbaugh with a big head that's green, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does, don't it? You want to know what's even funnier?
What's that?
There ain't no Scum fans in the chat.
No, there's not. I wonder who ran them off.
Hey, they ain't scared of me. They know they use.
I like how you say stand in the paint. Back in the day, TG, I know you know this, you're a baller. Back in the day, we used to practice taking charges when we played basketball. You know, you couldn't flinch. You had to stand in the paint and you had to get ran over, right? And now everybody's flopping around and acting like they're dying on the basketball court. Oh, I got hurt. It makes basketball almost unwatchable for me.
Oh, please. It's like, oh, please, you guys have not gotten hurt like that. Like, you want to know what's funny? What happened to me on the basketball court? When I made a layup, I landed wrong on the side of my foot and broke one of my bones.
Oh!
I actually was shattered. I actually shattered it, which led to me breaking 3 bones. My foot, my ankle, and my leg.
Uh-huh.
It was actually pretty lucky, too. And I actually did end up, like, finishing, but I was limping and I was in a lot of...
I bet. Well, my sophomore year of high school, our high school signed a contract with Converse. And so we all had to wear Converse sneakers. And this is back when Converse in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s was trying to make a comeback. And with the whole Chuck Taylor thing, and these tennis shoes, TG, were so awful. Everybody was rolling their ankles that season. They were so bad. When we were like begging the coaches to let us just wear Nikes or Reebok or something else. But no, we had this stupid contract with Converse. So we all were wearing like shin splints and everything else, wrapping our ankles just because we would roll our ankles awful with those terrible tennis shoes. Anyways, TG, I don't know if you heard my opening monologue. I'm sure you probably did about the coach at the assistant coach at Ohio State, Joe Lieberger, who got canned, and how Ohio State
I already know.
managed this thing
I already know.
perfectly.
I sent you guys the article.
What's that?
I sent you, Eric, and I sent you, Chris, and Sean the article.
Yeah. So I think Ohio State handled this thing exactly how they should. There was an accusation. They did an investigation. They found enough evidence there that they said, this doesn't look good. We're going to fire you now. It didn't come out from the media first. It wasn't the FBI who notified them. It wasn't the police. It wasn't the NCAA. It wasn't the Big Ten. Ohio State managed it themselves. That's how it should be done.
Oh, absolutely. That's how it absolutely should be done. And this is why for Michigan fans, what is your excuse? You see how Ohio State handles it. What's your excuse? With the Matt Wheat stuff, with the Jordan Howard stuff, with everything that's gone on in the program. You guys are the most, again, I said it again, y'all are the most pathetic program I've ever witnessed because you're willing to do anything for a win. Because it tells you just how down bad your program has been for years. And that's just sad.
Indeed.
And this just tells you all about how Ryan Day has built an amazing program at Ohio State. Absolutely amazing.
100%. 100%. Real quick, TG, Donald and Karen Rosbach in the chat celebrating 11 months of membership on the OHIO podcast.
Congrats, y'all.
Yo, thank you. Helping us keep the lights on and the flames of burning here in the Bog studio. He would like to know, Donald and Karen Rosbach would like to know, who will be the starting quarterback this season. The Wizard of Bog says Julian Sain. I agree with you, TG. Julian Sain. I agree. Why do you think it's going to be Julian Sain, girl?
Yeah. Of course. I think he's still got to build up his toughness because he still has a problem, like when he gets pressure in his face, that he can kind of do the Kyle McCoy a little bit. As far as the way he throws the ball, he's still got to build up his toughness, but he's getting there. Apparently, there's progress being made, but they really got to put it into him this summer.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting what Ryan Day said in his press conference Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember what day it was now. I think it was Tuesday.
I forgot which one it was, too.
He said that he honestly said Lincoln Keenholz performed better throughout the spring, but when we got to the spring game, it was Julian Sain who outperformed Lincoln. To me, that was big.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
It wasn't surprising because Julian had actually been good. It's just that he was very inconsistent. And, Lincoln was the more consistent of the two. He was actually doing pretty good. But I would say in the spring game, he missed a couple of throws. It's like, okay, dude, you were doing pretty good. And from some of the stuff I saw with you in practice, you can translate that to the game, but you got to do better with your footwork and with your arm mechanics, as you say, when it comes to passing the ball. Because he missed some really easy throws where it was wide open, dude. It's like the more he got better, and he got better as the game went on. Can't get mad at him for that. If we're being honest, I think Lincoln, I said it before, he has a chance. And I do think there is a chance Ohio State will put packages in for him like they did with Devin Brown, except they're actually going to put him in. If they want to do the tush push, you're going to put Lincoln in there and not Julian, for God's sake. Don't do that. Or if you're going to run somebody into the red zone, you can use Lincoln for that. Yes, you can use Julian, but I would say put a little bit more weight on him before you do that.
Ooh, TG, you just came up with a really good topic for a show. And that would be if we don't do the tush push because we're worried about him getting injured, and we don't want it to be so obvious that every time we bring in Lincoln Keenholz, it's just a tush push. Maybe we bring back the Wildcat on short yardage downs, and we do
oh yeah, I can absolutely see that.
Yeah, we do another running back there with the tush push. I like it. I like that.
Yeah, that would actually be a great. If anything, too, every time you bring in Lincoln, it doesn't always have to be some push push because the man can't throw. If somebody tends to think it's a push push, you could do a complete fake and just throw it deep down the field.
Oh yeah, right.
That's arm to do it.
I mean,
so it's you can make a lot of passing plays out of that.
Yeah, and that's and you bring up something interesting, TG, because if you go back to the national championship game on the third and long, right? Everybody thought we were just going to play it safe, punt, and let our defense go win it. But no, we actually had one-on-one coverage on the outside. We go deep to Jeremiah Smith, and he catches it, and it's ball game over. So I mean, yeah, sometimes
Pretty much.
you do what they don't think you're going to do. That's the whole point of being a play caller, and it'd be very interesting to me to find out what Brian Hartline is like as a play caller. Is he a little bit more aggressive? Will he go for it a little bit more, or is he going to be conservative? What do you think Brian Hartline is going to be as a play caller?
I think he's going to be somewhere in the middle. And I'm saying that because I think there's going to be moments where he's aggressive, but I think there's also going to be moments where he gets a little conservative because of the fact that you don't want to throw the game into jeopardy, especially if you don't want to make stupid decisions that can put the game in jeopardy. So I could see him doing both, especially because if Ohio State is planning to do what they did last year, which is not reveal their entire playbook. So like I could see them somewhere in the middle as a play caller. And then like as the season goes on in certain big time games, you may see him pull some stuff out of his bag and wait till the playoffs to pull stuff out of his bag that people have never seen before. Because remember, in the regular season last year, we didn't do a whole lot. We kind of ran some of the same plays. People still had a problem stopping it. And every once in a while, we would pull out like a big time play that no one saw coming. But then when we got to the playoffs, we opened our playbook to the fullest and absolutely just like ripped teams' butts across the playoffs. Like they were so shocked with everything we threw, things they have never seen on tape. That's what I can see for Ohio State this year with Brian Hartline as a play caller, just for that standpoint alone.
The Wizard of Boggs says, "Is Julian a runner?" Well, he was recruited as a dual threat quarterback, so I obviously he can run. But I have a feeling Julian is going to be a lot like C.J. Stroud in that he doesn't run. What do you think about that, TG?
Here's what I will say. Yeah, here's what I will say. He can run. Like I watched his high school tape. Like the dude can absolutely run. I would say again, put some more weight, know when to go down, and not get yourself hurt. And I do see him being more like CJ Stroud because again, I think Ryan Day he's going to run his quarterback. He's not going to run his quarterback a lot in the regular season. Like he's going to do that. He's going to pick and choose when he does that. When he'll run his quarterback is when he either needs to, when it's part of the game plan, when teams least expect it. Because remember, teams did not expect the Georgia Bulldogs, for instance. They didn't expect CJ to run as much as he did. And then it surprised them. It took them off guard how good of a runner he was. And then Will Howard in the Notre Dame game in the national title game. This is the first time he actually ran a lot. Not only that, but also the Texas game. Because remember, we had that 4th and 2, thanks to G. Scott for setting us up on that one. We had our 3 receivers on one side. We had our running back. I forget which one is either Travion or Quishon in the backfield. And we tricked the Texans into thinking that that's what we were going to do. Instead, we ran Will Howard. So that's what I mean is I think Julian Saint will run sparingly. And like I said, it would be to catch teams off guard. When we run him, it would be to catch teams off guard at all times. I actually like that about Ryan Day. Don't put your quarterbacks in harm's way unless you need to. Like it has to be pick and choosing, especially in the regular season. With this schedule especially.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the schedule, if you had to pick a game outside of Michigan that you feel is going to define the season for Ohio State, what game is that and why?
Gee, that's a good point. I really don't want to say Texas game because that's a little too early in the season, but I'm pretty much have to say Texas because I don't think the Penn State game would define anything. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the only big time game that could define it, and I really don't want to say that because it's just super early. But it could give us a good indication as to how good this team is.
Hmm. Well, I think Penn State can define the season if Penn State comes in that game undefeated. But let's be honest.
I mean, the funny thing is, the reason why I just don't with Penn State is because, like, James Franklin, like, I feel like I just deal with him anymore.
Like we like to say on this show, TG, James Franklin is going to James Franklin.
Yeah. And I get they got some new talent. Like, people talk about the wide receivers. Oh, my gosh. They had NFL receivers back when this defense was, like, bad. So, like, and they couldn't even win then. So, like, what makes you think they could win now? The only way that's going to happen is just some fluky stuff like what happened in, the year they beat us.
Oh, Amanda 23 wants to know from the Wizard of Boggs tonight. Actually, her husband. She's asking for her husband. Will we pick up any defensive tackles? I don't think so.
I mean, the one I could see us picking up would be the Oklahoma State D tackle, who
Right.
seems like a good fit. And it seems like Ohio State is going after him. He might be the one we pick up. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, but the answer Ryan Day gave on Tuesday was very interesting. He said we're not just going to pick up somebody for the sake of picking up somebody. Um, so
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think this D tackle, like the reason he said that is because he doesn't want somebody who's just as good, like for what we already have. He wants somebody that can actually
mhm,
play.
right,
Put it this way, that could be a
yeah.
little better.
I
And
mean,
here's what I will say: I do think with Oklahoma State D tackle, from what I watched to him, I think he could be the perfect D tackle to give Caden McDonald a break because I don't want Caden playing those 70-some snaps.
we did pick up a long snapper today though from North Carolina. I don't know,
Yeah, I saw.
but yeah, not a defensive tackle. Um, yeah, so um, there's this theory out there that's floating around, this conversation, if you will, that our defensive line depth isn't good. But I do want you all to know, and if you haven't, go back and watch the interview with Nathan from the Heel Brothers podcast that I did about Tyler Atkinson, um, Bo Atkinson, the DN/D tackle. They did kick him in at North Carolina on third downs. He played inside on third downs. He can't
Yep.
do it. So that right there alone gives us more depth than what we had before. So there's that. And I think they like what they have already. It's just a matter of getting reps and playing time and development.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about for sure. And that's actually one of the. This is the thing too. I don't think the D line depth is bad at Ohio State. It's just that I want to feel more comfortable. I think it's the one territory where it's like I want to feel like we have a chance to repeat fully, but the D line kind of gives me a little hesitation because it's not like these guys aren't good. As you said, I want to know, can they stop the run? Right now, they did get better at doing that as the game went on, but I want to see more development with Tywan Malone, even though Tywan actually has been good when he steps in there. Jason Moore, because he hasn't been on the field that much.
Right.
Will Smith and the other D tackles that are behind him. I just want to see more out of those guys before I can like really feel comfortable with saying, okay, we got the defensive line, and I still want more depth. Like I think having good depth is still good.
It's
Because like I said,
it
I don't
is.
want Kate McDonald playing like some 70-some snaps because we ain't got a D tackle that can take his place in the middle. Like I want one that can be an immovable object, and I want someone who can give Edric Houston a break. I give these freshmen the steal. You don't want to play these guys like 70-some snaps.
Exactly, 100%. The coaching staff was really high. They were talking up Jason Moore big time last fall, and he didn't get a lot of playing time, but I think he's definitely somebody to keep
I
your
mean, we
eye
had a
on.
lot of depth last
We
year, so
did.
it kind of makes sense why he couldn't get on the field.
Well, and then you've got Edric Houston, a freshman coming in and balling out, getting playing time. Right? So, um,
Yeah, like he just came in and was a freaking freak at D tackle, and he's a freshman.
no kidding. All right, so the Wizard of Boggs is in the house. TG, what questions do you have for the Swami? I'll answer anything for you tonight.
Okay, well, first let me say this with Wizard of Bonds and Lisa, because I'm gonna tell you this now. I did see your whole thing when I told you guys I broke some bones. You're right. I did. Unlike Michigan fans, I actually did not. I actually do not cry when that happened, and I actually, like I said, it hurt like heck, but I pulled through. I toughed it out. So I'll say that. And Eric, my question for you is: it actually about the Buckeye Huddle? Is when we're going to see the first live stream?
The first live stream of the Buckeye Huddle?
The college huddle. Not
Oh,
Buckeye Huddle. I meant to say college huddle. I don't know
yeah.
why I keep getting those
Oh, good
confused. I guess it's
question.
because I'm so used to the
That's a
Buckeye.
great question, TG. Probably sometime in the summer, or early summer, we might see the first live stream. So thank you for asking that question because it gives me a chance to promote the College Huddle. Uh, I purchased the College Huddle outright. I own it now. So I started I started the College Huddle YouTube channel. So if you all don't mind, head on over to the College Huddle and subscribe to the channel, please. We need to try to get to 1,000 subscribers before the college season begins. If you don't know much about it, go over to the website, thecollegehuddle.com. There you'll find the second link up at the top is Huddle members. There are 80 podcasts from coast to coast who are members of the College Huddle. And that means that there are 80 other podcasts like this one covering their college teams, and a lot of great guys and gals who do a great job, and we love collaborating with each other. So if you all remember last year when we did the game previews, those were all other podcasts from the College Huddle that we were playing up against. We had one from Marshall. We had one, all the Big Ten teams. And so, yeah, that's what the College Huddle is. I think we'll probably have a live stream, probably, I would say, early summer, because I know for a fact that the Big Ten guys are all wanting to get together, most of them, and do some kind of show. So, yeah, that's when you can expect that. But yeah, it's super exciting, and we've got 3 videos up over there now. A lot of you guys know a lot of these people. Michael from the Vol Fanatic Show. Skeeter from Woodswater, Mizzou. These are all College Huddle guys. DK from the Boiler Express podcast. I saw him in the chat earlier. Again, a College Huddle podcast. So, yeah, we love doing it. It's a lot of fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. So thank you for the question, TG. Anything else before we head on to the next caller?
Oh, here's what I would say. First, let me promote it for you. Like, guys, do go subscribe to the College Huddle because I am. I'm going to be watching that a lot when they do start live streaming. So that's why I had to ask. And I will say that for the Wizard of Boggs, it's kind of funny that people talk about how the narrative of us buying out our roster with $20 million, even though it's the same. And then Texas spends like $40 million on their roster, which would be absolutely the most hilarious thing if this turns out to be true.
Yeah,
if that turned out to be true, that would be hilarious. And think about it too. They spend money on like 5 D tackles. Like how poor is your D tackle development?
Including Hero Canoe. Hero Canoe went down there, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm Hero Canoe. I'm like, really? Like I transferred him because of this, and I'm probably not gonna get no play. He's probably not gonna get no playing time, which would be absolutely funny.
Exactly. All right, TG, thanks for calling in, girl. We're going to head to the next one here shortly. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you for having me on, man. Love the call the show.
Hey, and make sure everybody, if you haven't already, go listen to what day was it? Tuesday. God, my days are running together, TG. Go Tuesday, TG and Sean from the Buckeye Lounge. They interviewed Tim Anderson, former Buckeye national champion Tim Anderson. It was a great interview. And I don't know if Sean told you or not, TG, but you guys are up on the audio side now too. So if you go to the OHIO podcast and you look up iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all of wherever you download your audio podcast, we've been there for years. That's how we started. But your guys' show is now up there as well.
Yeah, he told me over the phone.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for calling, TG. Have a good night. OH.
IO. Thanks for having me. See you.
Bye. All right. Let me answer this before we go to the next caller here. What do you think of Texas reportedly going to spend $40 million? I don't want to hear a single peep about Ohio State and $20 million again. No kidding, right? Oh, man, no kidding. Thank you, Donald and Karen Rosbach. I already subscribed to it, Eric. Appreciate that. Brandon said the same thing. He subscribed to the College Huddle. Lisa says she's got it. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, if just 25% of you, we almost have 4,000 subscribers here on the OHIO podcast. If just a quarter of you subscribed to the College Huddle, we'd get there, man. It'd be full of nothing but Buckeyes. How fun would that be? But it's not going to be. We're going to have as many as we can from as much as we can. The Wizard of Boggs. How many different channels did you subscribe from? That's the question there, Wizard. That's the question. Lacey's like, I did when you announced it. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Let's keep her moving. Let's go on to David. Let's bring him on next. What's up, David?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be on a beach somewhere.
Well, if you were on the beach, you would be doing better. You're right.
Yeah, I'd be at a beach with a drink with a little umbrella sticking out of it with my wife next to me. That sounds pretty good. Sounds like I need to go on a vacation or something.
Hey, come down that way. Come down my way. Let me know, man. We'll show you around
Oh,
for sure.
now you're just teasing me, David. Now you're just teasing me, man.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on down to Tampa, man. I got some cool spots down here, man. And, stuff our faces and talk about a hot Buckeye football.
You know what? When I was last time I was in Tampa, that was probably 4 years ago. We stayed a couple extra days. We went up there to Clearwater, and I was eating on the beach. There was a restaurant on the beach, and they had the most delicious. They were like grouper nuggets. They looked like chicken nuggets, but they were grouper. Oh my gosh, I still have like fat boy dreams about those things, man.
Because there's a place real close to where I live that's got really good grouper nuggets. And actually, I got a place right down the street. They got these little grouper minis.
Mm.
Son, shut your mouth. It is.
Make you slap your mama.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. It's like a little Japanese like bistro thing. It's incredible. It's literally like 3 minutes from my neighborhood, like right outside my neighborhood. It's right there.
Uh-oh. David,
yeah, so,
guess what, buddy? My wife's in the chat.
What?
My wife's in the chat. She just said beach would be amazing. Good idea, Bogsy. Uh-oh. I wasn't sure she was listening. Uh-oh. We might be seeing you sooner rather than later, my friend.
Hey, you got my number. It's right there in your system. So give me a ring. So yeah, talking about, you were talking earlier about the defensive line situation.
Yes.
And it's funny because that's the question I was going to ask you, and you I think you answered it. And I didn't see the interview with Ryan Day because I usually can't even hear what the question they're even asking. So those things just kind of annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to my sister this last night about that, and we both came to the conclusion. It was like, I don't think we're in near as much trouble on the defensive line as everybody thinks we are.
You know what?
I think we're just fine.
You know why everybody thinks that, possibly? Because the offensive line.
Because the Buckeye media are imbeciles.
Well, yeah, that might be too. But I think at the spring game, David, the offensive line looked so good that they really were schooling that defensive line, and an inexperienced defensive line at that. And we're not used to seeing that as Ohio State fans. We're just not. In the spring, usually the offensive line looks awful.
That's true. But I also got to remember that that defensive line was very vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was done for a reason. Because everybody knows that was one of the biggest strengths of that team last year, that defensive line. And I think, like I said the other day on here, I think when I was talking to Eric,
Chris, yeah.
Yeah. And I just think that people are making too big of a deal about this. We've recruited extremely well. And Ryan Day is back.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Day is back. And if you remember in the beginning, he was a little sly with stuff. And I think they're being very sly with this defensive line. If we needed that much help, don't you think we would have gone out and gotten like the kid from Army? You don't think that kid would have been a good fit? Well, you don't think he's a high character kid? He came from Army. You can't get into academy and stay there unless you're a high character type of person, right? I don't think we need that much help. And like you were saying earlier, only adding pieces that we think will help. And I did catch your interview with the Tar Heel brother, and it was good. It was fun. That was a fun interview. It was really good. Hope you have him back on. And
Nathan,
Thor,
yeah. Can I tell you guys something about Nathan? Dude
yeah,
is uber talented. He had the opportunity to work at ESPN. No joke.
yeah. I could see it. He was
Yeah.
he looked like he'd been doing it for a long time. It's kind of a natural.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm subscribed to the huddle. As soon as I went over there, I subscribed to it. And, I think it's going to be big. When you go over there, those interviews that you've been doing over there are awesome. But everybody quit worrying about the defensive line. All right, we got the GOAT there teaching those guys. Don't worry about something till there's something to worry about. You're making stuff up in your head that you have no evidence of.
Right.
The Buckeye media is taking things and running with it. You got to realize a lot of these people don't know their butt from their hole in the ground.
Well, it's click.
They don't know anything.
David.
They're going off of what they hear, what some other knucklehead says, and on 3 or this. Most of them don't know anything, and we're fine. We're not rebuilding anything. We're reloading, and I really think Texas is walking into a buzzsaw when they come into Columbus. I watched the Josh Pate interview today.
Great interview.
Or last night, excuse me. Today. And Ryan Day brought up again about those guys 2 weeks after the Natty. They said, take down the majority of the stuff. We didn't win this. These guys are, I hate to say laser focused because it's a family joke, but they're laser focused.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry about stuff, guys. Don't worry about something until it's time to worry about. My prediction for this next year is I'm totally prepared for 10-2. And if we're 10-2, there's no way we get left out.
No.
There's no way Ohio State gets left out at 10-2.
No.
I can't hardly foresee unless the wheels fall off, being outside the top 12. I mean, I don't see it. I think where we got to be, not get sleepy is when we go to Illinois.
Yep. Well,
don't overlook Illinois.
No, no one should, because
boring
venue.
venue.
Listen to this, David. Again, the Wizard of Boggs is here. The Swami is here. Illinois is going to be a top 10 preseason team, folks. You heard it here first.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you straight
absolutely.
Up. They will be ranked higher than Michigan.
They're going to be preseason top 10.
Penn State will be the highest ranked Big Ten team. That's my prediction. I think Ohio State and Oregon will be the next two. And I think Illinois is going to be a top 10 team in the preseason. They will be ranked higher than Michigan. That is my prediction.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. I don't think Michigan was going to be lucky if they're ranked in the top 25 in the preseason.
They'll be in the top 25. They'll be in the top 25
really have much to look forward to. I mean, it's the development of a true freshman.
They'll be ranked in the top 25.
So,
but I don't.
Yeah, I think they'll make the top 25, but I don't see them. They might squeeze them in the top 20 at like 19 or 18 or something like that, but I don't see them any higher than that. There's too many other programs that have a way much more upside to them than what they have. The slide has begun, and Penn State. We'll see what they're going. I think, like you said, Franklin's going to Franklin, and Drew Aller. I'm sorry, I don't really have any. I know they went out and got some receivers and stuff, but let's ask ourselves a question. If they could go out and all right, so that means they're not recruiting any receivers. Okay, you haven't been able to go on a recruiting trail and recruit any receivers. That's because the receiver coach, I don't know who he is, but the dude sucks. All right, he hasn't developed anybody. Why he's still there, I don't know. You can't develop somebody at Penn State. You can't get somebody come in there. So these guys are coming in there, evidently, from what I understand, are pretty good. You got in the portal, but is the position coach any good? I don't think their offense is very good outside the running group, the running backs. Drew Aller, I've seen that dude miss. You know what? He misses a lot of throws because he can't throw dudes open. He could have Jeremiah Smith out there. If Jeremiah Smith is covered a little bit, he can't throw him open. Julian Smith can, and even Lincoln can fit balls into tight windows. He can throw people. All three of those guys can throw somebody open. Drew Aller can't throw people open. That was the problem with McCord. McCord couldn't throw guys open. He couldn't do it, and neither can Aller. Your quarterback, you have to have a guy with an arm like that if you expect to win a natty. And none of that between him and 10. I call him 10-2. Franklin. Somewhere along the line, they're going. One of them's going to flub it. They're just going to flub it. And Jim Knowles' defense, the problem with that defense, really most defenses, but even his last year with this last year, right? The weaknesses in that defense are covering a tight end and covering linebackers covering running backs coming out of the backfield. Like a little flip screen or something like that, where running back comes out in the receiving game or that tight end releases. That is a weak spot for that defense, unfortunately, because there's not enough linebackers. One of those safeties has to come down and pick that guy up. And by the time he picks him up, he's already released. He's already open. You should be able to make a catch and get a first down at the minimum. And with our running backs, which is kind of crazy, a running back room might actually be better than it was last year. And the tight end room is definitely going to be better than it was last year.
100% on the tight end room. Yeah. Let me ask you this, since you're here and the Wizard of Boggs is here, and I got the flames over my shoulders and the green tent around me, what questions do you need answered? The Wizard will answer them tonight.
I don't know if I need anything answered because I think you've already answered the people that called in earlier. I would say, where do you where does the season end for us this year?
Ooh.
What will be the game that ends our season?
Well, if we go 10-2, that puts us basically the same position we were last year. And I'm going to say we win at least one college playoff game, since it would be at home, and then we would probably lose the next one. But that's just looking at the law of averages and statistics. This team very well could win the Big Ten, get a bye, go up against a 10-3 team from the Big 12 in the second round, and then all of a sudden you're in the Final Four. So We'll see what happens. My guess is it'll be the second round of the playoffs. That's my guess. I know that's probably not
Yeah, I
what you
can see
wanted to
that.
hear, but I'm just playing averages.
I can see either second or third. There are the semifinals. I can see it
Hey man,
getting ended there because
you just need a ticket to the dance. That's all you need. And
that's all you need. Just get us to the dance, and let's see what happens.
Get to the
Get to the
dance
dance
and
and see
let
what
Day
happens.
cook. Hey, so far in a 12-team playoff, he's undefeated, guys. So you just got to get there, man. Get to the dance and let him cook. Great call, my friend. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Thanks for calling in,
All
Dennis.
right, thanks for having me on.
Yep. OH.
OH.
IO, buddy. All right, let's go back to before I go back to the phone lines here. Sean, you're up next, my man. Let's do this here. I've got oh man, I've moved on so far. The chat's on fire. I'm not gonna sing tonight. That would be just terrible if I did that to all of you guys tonight. How much y'all think we will spend on our roster? Asked Brandon, and then he says, I think it'll be less than 20 million. I know for a fact it's less than 20 million. My guess is we're going to be somewhere around 17 to 18 million for this roster, and a big chunk of that went to the wide receivers retaining them. So that's what I know. All right. Steely Matt, welcome in, buddy. Like the show. Smash it. You know it, my man. Smash that like button. Let's go back to the phone lines. What up, Sean?
What up, Brother Bogsy?
How's it going?
Great. Hey, I just want to tell everybody, please subscribe to the Buckeye Huddle, man. Let's help our brother Bogsy out here, man. He's a great dude.
College Huddle.
Let's get this thing going, man. Let's get this
College
out of the
Huddle.
stratosphere, man.
We can't call it Buckeye Huddle, guys. That's owned by someone else.
College Huddle. College Huddle. Oh my God, that's a sin to say that word. My bad. College Huddle. My bad.
College Huddle. Yeah, let's get this thing rolling, man. I'm working on an interview with David Talks Buffs. He's got a huge channel for Colorado. He does a great job talking about the Colorado program down there with Neon Dion. Hopefully I can get him on. I've talked to him before. We're trying to get him on. And when news breaks in college football, Sean, I'm going to run to the College Huddle and hopefully have someone from that program on to talk about it. If not, we'll just make stuff up and talk on the College Huddle. That's kind of what we do.
Hey, there's a few other podcasts that does that too, so don't feel bad. But I regress. A couple of those podcasts up north, I think sometimes they just whatever they dream of, they just try to speak it into existence. So it is what it is.
Exactly.
But I just want to thank you again for giving us a spot on Tuesdays. Just want to let everybody know that Tim Anderson is a part of our crew now. He's going to be on quite a bit. Maybe once in a while he won't be able to be on, but he's going to be part of the crew, man. We're excited. I know that he loved his experience Tuesday, and he's just excited with the possibilities we're going to, do with the show.
I'm super, super stoked to work with Tim. And that was a great interview you guys did Tuesday night, you and TG. Super excited to have you guys with us here at the OHIO podcast, building your guys' identity. One of the things I love to do is help people get their feet on the ground with this. It's one of the funnest things you do. It's cool to be able to interact with all of you and talk football and talk Buckeyes. And so, to be able to provide that space for you and TG, I think is rewarding. And now Tim coming along, as well. And hey, since we're talking former Buckeyes, Sean, I think now's a good time as any to announce this Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, on the Buckeye Roundtable with us on the Sunday evening roundtable discussion. He's making his return. The one and only Rudy of Ohio State, Mike Wargo, is going to be here this Sunday night on the OHIO podcast. You do not want to miss Wargo, folks. He's going to be here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's the fan favorite, man. Wargo and now Tim Anderson. We've got some former Buckeyes who love working with us on this podcast, and I can't wait to have Wargo. We're gonna have some good topics Sunday night. I've already got them sitting there, and then the whole second part of the show is we're gonna open it up to the chat and let you all ask Wargo questions. It's all gonna be a Q&A with Wargo in the chat.
I tell you what, man, isn't Tim such a humble guy, man?
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't like to brag or anything. I mean, he sells himself short. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
National champion. You got drafted and played all those years in the NFL, and
yeah, I love how the interview started with TG talking him up. Like,
I also want to thank.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
I want to thank everything that you guys have done for me and TG, giving us our spot and everything. But I also want to thank Devin and Mello for giving us a spot to start. Man, we'll always be a part of the Buckeye boys, and we'll go back from time to time. And I imagine they'll probably come on our show a couple times and still work with those guys. It's just one big family.
That's it, man.
Just a different opportunity here, and we truly appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Very proud to be on it, man.
Yeah, can we go back to the Tim Anderson interview real fast?
Sure.
God, I love that interview. It was so good. I've listened to it twice. So I love how TG opens the interview, right? She's introducing Tim Anderson to everybody, and she's like, NFL great, and and Tim's first response is, "Are we really going to start this podcast with a bunch of lies?" Like, you knew it was going to be a good interview when that happened, yeah. And he's got what I love. He nothing's off the table. He was willing to answer anything, Sean.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't want to put him on the spot with that question I asked him, but he said, no, ask away. And, I asked him about, if he thought they would have repeated if they would have had Clarett. I thought that offense that year without, the running game, did suffer. But the way he took responsibility and said, hey, those games we lost that year wasn't on the offense. It was on the defense because we had bad games and we're the ones that dropped the ball, not the offense. And I was just like, dang, man, that takes some, what a great, honest answer. And, a lot of guys probably wouldn't be honest like that and, take the fault. But he stood right in there and just said, nah, that was on us.
Yeah.
Wasn't on the offense.
100%.
I was just like, dang.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That was really interesting. No doubt, man. This Wizard
was funny,
of Oz.
Because you and Dave were talking about Clearwater. And I actually went down. One of my best friends used to live down there for 20 years. I went and visited him. And we went to the beach, and there was that restaurant right on the beach, Grouper Nuggets, man. I had Grouper Nuggets, and I had calamari.
Oh.
And I tell you what, you're not joking, man. That stuff was killer.
Dude, I'm a seafood. I love seafood. The older I've gotten, the more I like it. I used to hate seafood as a kid. And the older I get, the more I like it. And there's nothing like seafood on the ocean. When you eat it fresh off the ocean, it's so good, guys. And I'm telling you, man, the Grouper Nuggets are for real. The Wizard of Boggs, Ohio State has to have the most podcasts going on about their program, right? Yeah, it's not even close, dude. It's Ohio State #1 by far. Michigan actually has quite a bit too. So they're right behind us, I would say. And I know this because with the College Huddle, I did a lot of research with trying to recruit podcasts, and so I know a lot of them out there. Alabama's got a lot of podcasts as well. Then I would say #4 after Alabama's probably Notre Dame, and then #5, ready for this one? West Virginia. West Virginia's got a lot of podcasts. and which is very
It is a
interesting.
good football town.
Yeah, Penn State's got a few after that as well. Teams that don't have a lot of your West Coast teams, USC, UCLA, would say, they don't have a ton. The Arizona schools don't have a lot. But yeah, Iowa's got quite a few as well. Iowa's another Big Ten team that's got quite a few. So.
I figured Nebraska probably has a
Oh
few.
yeah,
I mean, there's not much to do in
Thank you.
Nebraska.
Nebraska's
so
got a
Corn
ton.
Husker football.
Yeah,
So
Nebraska's
I
got
imagine
a
they probably
ton.
have
Thank you. Yeah.
a couple.
And if you're looking for a good Nebraska podcast to watch, The Common Fan is my favorite one. Those guys are fantastic. The Common Fan podcast.
Now, do you have a Tennessee one?
Yeah, it's the Vol Fanatics, Michael.
Okay, because there's another bowl guy that I watch. I don't know if you ever saw him, but Sports Talk Jay.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yep, I
And
know
the guy destroys Michigan all the time. So I mean, he puts movie clips in his little thing, man. He's entertaining as heck. He's a pretty honest guy. I enjoy his podcast. I mean, usually the Georgia guys are kind of, they're not really, when you go in the Georgia chat, man, it's kind of dealing with Michigan fans in a lot of ways. So
Uncle Lou's the most popular Georgia fan podcast that's out there, but he's not really a Georgia podcast. He's a Georgia fan, but he does a college show. But Uncle Lou is relentless, dude. He'll burn you pretty good. Which just ask Caden the man about that.
Well, is it Caden the man, or is it Diesel Dan, or is it David West, the guy from England, who's now
it's David the Brit.
Burke's biggest supporter?
Yeah. Did you?
David the Brit.
By the way, those of you who are members, make sure you go watch the video I posted for members only this morning, where I break down my relationship with Caden, how it started, and how we got to the fact that Caden is officially a Michigan fan now.
And he's best friends with Burks after Burks destroyed him in their fight.
Poor Burks is like, if I would have known this would have happened, I never would have done what I did.
Hey, it's bad when you get roasted so bad that you take down all your videos. And you just...
Yes. Yeah. He got... Burks burnt him so bad. He literally took down all of his shows and somehow became a spoiled British Michigan fan.
Yeah.
How that happened?
So we should all respect Burks and stop making fun of him.
100%. In fact, prayers and thoughts for Burks at this time.
Hey, you know what, Eric? You didn't mention how many, Michigan has a lot of podcasts, but I bet you after that hammer drops, there probably won't be that many more,
Ooh.
I bet you it'll be like a ghost town. I bet you there'll be, maybe 2 or 3 left. Maze, Madman, and Johnny always stand in the paint.
Yeah, Johnny will stand in the paint.
I mean, Johnny will stay. He's been through it all when they were horrible and everything.
Yep.
Maze will stay. And maybe that clown Isaiah Hole, because he's on that Lockdown Wolverines, network. But a lot of them will be in hiding.
Over under,
there will be a ghost town after that.
I say over under, they lose 10 podcasts. I'll put the number at 10.
10.
Yeah.
I say over.
Okay.
We'll have to mark that down and see what comes to fruition on that.
Right. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal, Sean. You're on with tonight's my first night of the Wizard of Boggs, where I will answer any question you have, any prediction you want. So, and that includes you all chat in the chat. So put a super chat in so I see it, and I'll try to answer any predictive questions you have. So, Sean, that being said, what question do you have for the Swami tonight?
Okay, real quick before I ask a question, I just want to say congratulations to Lacey getting the wrench and being moderator. What a great friend and what a great person. Couldn't ask for a better moderator. I mean, she's probably the second best one you got besides me, of course. But sorry, Tyler, you're down to number 3 now. just joking,
Hey,
bro.
man, I sleep with one of
Okay.
those moderators. Be careful.
Oh, my bad. Oh, the ones that aren't named Boggs or Wildman. So
Well, the what? Now you make me sound like I sleep with my co-host too. Stop that. You're
you
gonna
ain't your
start
co-host.
rumors,
Your
Sean.
wife's the moderator. So I mean, this is a family show, so we won't go there. But
There you go.
you guys are married, so what you guys do in your private life's your thing, bro. So, but the two questions, one Ohio State, one and one for one. We had kind of a question about this last night. A couple people got in a little bit of argument for it, but was the Ultimate Warrior a great wrestler?
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hot take.
All right.
Hot take. Hulk Hogan wasn't either. Hulk Hogan.
I'm still wondering if Chris's blood pressure's still through the roof after last night.
No, the Ultimate Warrior is not a great wrestler. Hulk Hogan is not a great wrestler. Hulk Hogan was a great character. The Ultimate Warrior was a great character. The great wrestler was Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. They were great wrestlers. And
Shawn Michaels.
Well, here's a real good name for you of a really good wrestler. Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase was a great wrestler. Very
His
underrated.
dad was a professional wrestler, and that's how he went. I mean, he was an awesome wrestler. I mean, the $1 million dream. I mean, the dude. I mean, great villain too, man. He could get over. I mean, he drew a lot of money. Just solid wrestler, no doubt about it.
$2 super chat from Bobby Mack. How many sacks will we have this year? Over under 52. Does that include the playoffs and or a Big Ten championship game, Bobby Mack? If it includes every game we play, we will average 3 sacks a game this season. So if we play 15 games at 3 sacks a game, that's only 45. I'm taking the under. Does that seem low to you, Sean?
You know what? They didn't. I mean, I think it could be kind of low because with Patricia's defense. I think the defense is going to be. I think they're going to blitz a lot more. So it could. And plus, I think our defensive line this year, it's built differently than last year. We actually got 2 speed rushers on the end. They don't play the run as great as Jack and JT do, but they pass. They're better pass rushers. And you're bringing Bo Atkinson in, and the great thing about bringing him in is, like you said, you get kicked inside a lot. Well, last year they kicked Caden Curry and Kenyatta in a lot too. So look for some really exotic, maybe rushman packages, and I think they're going to get a lot of pressure this year.
Oh, the Wizard of Boggs. The Ryan Day's beard just did it again. He wants me to dress up as the $1 million Boggs.
Oh, yes.
That's going down. That's happening. Everybody's got a
we need
price.
we need to get you a belt made too.
Yes. Yes. The $1 million belt is coming to the Boggs household. That's happening. That is happening.
I love it.
Dude, what an amazing idea. Oh, shoot. Okay.
All right, here's the question I want to find out from you.
Okay, hit me.
How many touchdowns does JJ have this year?
16.
Is he a finalist for the Heisman?
Yes.
Lischnikoff Award winner?
Yes.
Love it, man. Hey, I imagine you probably got some other callers that want to call in too, bro. So thanks again for having me on, and killer show like usual, bro.
Appreciate you, Sean. Have a good weekend, buddy. We'll if we don't talk to you before next week, have a good weekend.
You too, bro.
All right. Good night.
Good night. OH.
Ayo. Oh, yeah. you all know what time it is. It's time for the living legend. What's up, Ray? How's it going, my friend?
Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ray. How are you doing now that you've had your shots?
What beautiful weather. You know, the flowers are coming out. The lilac bushes, I love them. They got such a beautiful smell. And I want to make a little poem for the bullies up north.
Oh, let's
It's
hit us with it.
daytime now. Your time's running out. You got 2 more months, and then you're going to get 3 years at least ruining your seasons like you tried to ruin Ohio State's. Ain't that going to be beautiful summer coming up?
Oh, well, it'll give us something else to celebrate, Ray. That is for sure. Hey, I need to thank you. You sent me a copy of that article that you wanted me to read. Thank you for sending that to me.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it to you. So you've already seen it. You can give it to the Buckeye boys or somebody.
Okay. I can do that, Ray. I can pass
How's
that
you and your wife doing?
She's a little under the weather tonight. She's not feeling too good, but she's doing all right. Yeah. It's
Well, tell her I said I'm sorry. I'll pray for her.
well, thank you, Ray. It's just I think it's just this weather. It's hot and cold and rainy, and it messes up with everybody's sinuses. But the question here, Ray, is how are you?
What is your favorite baseball team? Mine's the Indians. What's your favorite team?
Cincinnati Reds.
You know, I used to be a big Cincinnati fan when Johnny Bench and Pete Rose and Tony Perez and all them were there, the big red machine.
Johnny Bench
That was a great team.
Yeah, well, I remember I was 9 years old in 1990 when they won the World Series with Eric Davis and Jose Rijo, Barry Larkin.
Oh
yeah, that team. The Nasty Boys, Tom Browning. That was my team, and they haven't won one since, right? And so here I am, almost 44 years old now, and I was 9 years old last time that they did anything. Now they had a pretty good team one year. They went to the playoffs when they had Sean Casey and that group of guys.
Oh yeah.
But
he's on Baseball Network all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a Reds fan.
So anyways, the spring game went all right and everything.
Spring game was great. They looked good offensively. The offensive line looked great. We did our tailgate before and after the spring game. We had lots of people show up. We got to meet some of the listeners and some of the folks who hang out in the chat.
I was watching the spring game. It looked like our quarterback was looking pretty good.
Yeah, Julian Sane did really well. He looks like he's going to be everything that we thought he was going to be. He's got to grow.
Do you like golf at all or not?
I like to putt. I do not golf. I am terrible at it.
Oh, you like to putt?
I'll putt, but I won't golf because I'll hurt somebody. I have the worst slice ever in the history of golf.
I know. I was glad to see Rory McIlroy win that Masters. He almost gave it away 1,000 times. Then he won it 1,000 times. It's funny. A game of inches in golf, football, baseball, basketball, you can count them all off.
Yeah.
There's a thin line between winning and losing.
Very much so.
Like the first 2 games in that playoff run, we killed them, and then the other 2, it was a little iffy there for a while, wasn't it, both of them?
Well, yeah, I think the national championship game was kind of a foregone conclusion after you beat Texas.
Yeah.
But,
the Texas game was probably the toughest one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were on the 1 yard line. I'll never know why they went outside like that, but I'm glad they did. I guess they didn't think our defensive backs were fast enough, huh?
I guess not. I guess not. But yeah, I
just put my new shirt on. I washed it and put it on today, and all the people in the restaurant were complimenting me on having a great Ohio State team.
Ah, nice. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're enjoying that, Ray.
What's that?
I said I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah, that was a nice treat. That tops a year off already. I'll be 76 in August, so that's a little early birthday present.
Well, we'll have to get you something else, man. Maybe we'll get you a couple OHIO podcast shirts. How about that?
Well, you're gonna do what now?
I said maybe we'll have to get you a couple OHIO podcast T-shirts.
Yeah, you got me one. I got one in my drawer.
Well,
I wear that too sometimes.
we'll probably have a new one here soon. So we usually try to release a new shirt every year. So we'll have a new one.
Okay. How many years you been on now?
How many years we've been doing this podcast?
Yeah.
6. This is our 6th year.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're a super good guy. I like you because you ain't afraid to, like all the godly Ohio State players, not ashamed to show your faith. I know you always have 2 or 3 Bible verses for us before the end of the show every week. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that, Ray. It's just who I am.
Okay. Hey, God bless you. God bless you. OH.
IO. Oh, it's always good to have a good phone call from Ray, isn't it? It's always good. Phone lines are open. If anybody else wants to call in, we'll give it a few more minutes, guys. The $1 million bogs. That you've got my man. My mind is. What could I do about that one? Yeah. So the Boggs family traditionally, when we go someplace on vacation or we take a trip, or we'll putt. That's what we do. It's something we've been doing ever since Sarah and I were dating. Is we would go putting, and Sarah's the best. I'll admit it. She beats me just about every time now. So, oh, Lisa Sims, Lisa, I'm not going there. Oh, shucks. Hey, look who it is. Matty Butcher. Matty B in the house, all the way down from Australia. Good to have Matty with us tonight, man. Gosh, Matt, I hope you come back to Ohio soon, brother. When Butcher came to Ohio, I picked him up at the airport. Um, we went to a high school football game. We still make fun of the Delaware Dingoes, as they were calling us. And then we went to the Ohio State Toledo game the next day and gave him a good Ohio State experience. I really miss that, man. We need to get together again, brother. Bobby Bobby Mack wants to know how my wife's boyfriend from the tailgate's doing. Thankfully, we don't know. That was quite the experience, guys. That was something else, man. That was whew. Yeah, Anthony from the Always Irish show that I know. Good to have you with us tonight, Anthony. Good to see you stop in or in the chat and say hello, man. Thank you for all the super chats tonight, Bobby. Man, I guess you're making up for the fact that you won't be here Sunday night because you'll be traveling. So I appreciate that. Yeah, indeed. All right, guys, if we'll give you a couple more minutes here. This Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, on the Sunday Night Discussion Roundtable show. That's right, former Buckeye, the Rudy of Ohio State, my good friend, your good friend, Mike Wargo, will be with us. We got a couple really good topics to discuss that I think are going to cause a lot of good debate. And then the second part of the show is all about interviewing Wargo, letting everybody in the chat ask as many questions as they would like to Wargo. One person asked, will he have his trumpet with him? Yes, he will. And I know he will because Wargo he created a video the other day of him playing his trumpet for the Kentucky Derby because he's a part of Kiwanis, and the Kiwanis Club is having a big Kentucky Derby party. The Kentucky Derby this Saturday. Does anybody have any bets on any horses right now? So the natural Caden was undercover at the tailgate. Yeah, yeah, we would have known. Trust me, we would have known. All right, guys. If no one else is gonna call in, I'll give it just another minute here to see if anybody else swings by. Uh, don't forget, go subscribe to the College Huddle if you don't mind. Subscribe to College Huddle if you haven't already. We'll continue to add content there. We're continuing to do things on this channel as well. I know some of you said, "Oh, where's Boggs going?" I'm not going anywhere. We're just gonna do our thing here. Do you think Caden Dixon Wyatt is going to be a Buckeye? Great question. I'm leaning toward yes. He makes his commitment announcement Sunday. I think it's between us and Oregon, and I think he's going to come to Columbus. I do. I feel like that is where we're going to, where he's going to commit to. Great question though. And you had to ask the Swami. So, all right, we got another caller. Good. I wasn't ready to end the show yet tonight. Let's see who we got here. Let me look it up. Let's see who we got. Ah, I wondered where she was at. Hi, Mika.
Hey, Podfather.
How do you like my
You just
background?
wanted... What?
How do you like my background today? Do you see it?
Very nice. Really?
I'm
How do you do? How do you do that?
I'm magic. I'm magic.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Did
I
you
got a.
have Kennedy's house for Irish stuff?
Yeah. Well, you do. That would be great. I should have Anthony. Anthony, I need your help. Um, I need you to get John Kennedy to send you his background on his green screen, so that the next time I do a show with John Kennedy and he shows up, I'll have it behind me. I think that he'd be like, "Hey, how'd you get my background? That's in my house. How'd you get that?" I can just hear him.
That'd be awesome.
How's Mika
I would
tonight?
pay to see that.
Yes, it would be great. How you doing tonight, Mika?
Doing all right. Was feeling rough earlier today, but feeling better now.
Good. Good. I know you said you was going to call me, and I was looking for that phone call, and I hadn't seen it yet, and I was getting a little worried. So I'm glad you decided to call in and let me know that you're still okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. So what do you think about the commitment on Sunday? Do you think we get him?
I think we do, because I think Chris Henry's been in his ear,
Yeah.
and I think he values development a lot. Even though they offered him, the other schools are offering him a lot more than we are, I've heard. But I think he values development, and I think the fact that the commitment day came so soon after the draft really helps.
Yeah, I think so too. I'll tell you, Jeremiah Smith had an interesting tweet today that gave me confidence. So I'm feeling good about it, Mika. I really am. I feel like this will be the last receiver in this class too. I don't think we'll take another one.
Yeah, this will probably be the last one, even though I kind of want Justin Hodge out of mentor to get a look.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to, especially if we're in KDW.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So.
But yeah, I definitely think he's either gonna sign with us, or think he's probably. I'm thinking he might stay at USC, because I heard that they might even offer him more than Oregon.
Really?
Offered him.
Wow. That would shock me.
I don't know. They're getting kind of desperate over there.
They are, and they're recruiting better. This recruiting class is one of the better ones they've had. But if I was on the West Coast, I would look at Oregon before I would USC. But that's just me.
I don't know. It's we're one of the three. I'm thinking he signs with us though, because I think he values development, and Chris Henry's interview, and we finally wake them out again. It's gonna be over.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it leads to a new pipeline for us, because they got a lot of great talent at that school.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's one of the better schools in the country. There's no doubt about it. But I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, Chris Henry's all in.
And
He confirmed his commitment, and this is his teammate. And so, yeah, I think you're right. I think Chris Henry's been in his ear, but I think if you consistently watch the NFL draft and year after year after year, you see us putting guys in the first round of the NFL draft from wide receiver, and then on top of that, even people like Pate and other people are saying if you want to be developed and you want to go to the NFL and you're a wide receiver, you go to Ohio State.
plus, even guys that we've had that have gone in the later rounds have done well in the NFL. Even before Harline, like Noah Brown, he was in the league for how long? And he was, when he had 6th round pick?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, even the ones that go later, they get paid. And Hartline has just brought it to a whole new level. And I think, who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
No kidding. Yeah, 100%. Who wouldn't want to be? I mean, if
If
I
I
was
could
a wide receiver, I'm going to Ohio State. There's no
get
doubt.
my chair scooped up a little more, I don't want to be a part of that.
And it's one of those things too. So it's like people are, and I know people are worried because we don't have a quarterback in this class. I'm not worried about it. I mean, you got
I'm not
Tavian St.
worried
Clair.
about it at all.
Yeah, and then you got Brandon, whatever his name is, in 2027. So we're gonna get somebody in the class. That's not. I mean, that's not.
Brady Edmonds.
Yeah, thank you, Brady Edmonds. But in the 2026 class, we're gonna get somebody. I'm not worried about it. But I would like to see us go after the kid from Ashland, Ohio, the 6'6" kid.
Yeah, Nathan Bernard.
Thank you, man. You're so good at this. Gosh, you know these names. I can't remember the recruiting kids' names. I have hard enough trouble remembering every name of the kid on the roster at Ohio State, and you're like, I got the next 2 years of recruits memorized. Boggs, you're supposed to be the Wizard of Boggs, and you can't remember recruits.
I watch a lot of tape and highlights and tape all day, so it's what I like to do.
Yeah, you're good at it. It's your gift. So, oh my gosh, everybody, the chat's talking about Noah Brown, and Dennis just brought up a reminder. Do you remember Noah Brown's catch at Oklahoma when he caught it around the defender's back in the corner of the end zone?
Yes, I do. I actually have a clip saved to my phone.
That is amazing. Good night, Lisa. Have a good night, Lisa's time for bedtime for her. She's heading out. Thanks for hanging out with us, Lisa.
I heard we might flip the Louisville commit, Briggs Cherry, or the Michigan State commit, Caden Coughlin might get a look.
The Louisville one's intriguing to me.
And I know we sent for the quarterback coach to see the kid from Nebraska throw today.
Okay.
In 27. So maybe we're thinking of doubling up in 27. I don't know.
Well, if we do, that means we're going to have to hit the portal next year for depth.
Yeah. I'd rather take a developmental guy in 26, like Nathan Bernard, than double up in 27. But I'm not getting paid the Ryan Day money, so.
Well, you should, Mika. They should have you on staff just so that they wouldn't need a dry erase board with everybody's names written on them. They would just have you. You know.
Well, I think I should too, but trying to convince people of that is the hard part.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Let me get on the phone with Ryan Day. We'll make that happen.
I wish, dude. I would love to do that as a job.
Shoot, I'd clean toilets at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. You kidding
A
me?
day in my life, it would be like so much fun.
No kidding. No joke. Well, Mika, you're on with the Wizard of Oz tonight. The Podfather has gone green, if you will. I'm answering questions. What questions do you have for me? Nothing's off limits. I'll answer anything. Any prediction you want.
Okay. What is the hardest part about being a YouTuber
Ooh.
and producing consistent high level content like you do?
Well, thank you for that compliment. I'm going to get very sentimental with you here. The hardest part about being a content creator YouTube is when you can't realizing you can't make everybody happy. I really struggle. I've always struggled in my life when people are upset with me for one reason or another. And sometimes in this space, people get upset and they have disagreements and they want you to take a side. And realizing that whatever stance I take on something, I'm going to make someone upset, to me is the hardest thing. You ask my wife, I've gone to bed plenty of times upset because someone is upset. I like to have everybody happy in the chat. And that's
You and I are very similar.
And it's impossible to do. It just is. So that's the hardest part for me. But that's a great question. That's a great question.
Well, I'm trying to get into this, so I'm trying to learn.
Yeah. The most frustrating parts at the beginning were just learning all the technical stuff, right? So YouTube makes you jump through a ton of hoops to get monetized. So you have to reach so many subscribers, and then you have to have so many watch hours, and all of those things. And then once you get there, they make you fill out like gobs of paperwork. And it helps if you incorporate your show as a business, because if you're just a person and you're like, well, I'll just just say, hey, I'm just so and so, and for tax purposes, they don't like that. And so it was really hard to jump through all of the legal jargon that YouTube makes you go through to get monetized. And then once you get monetized, to realize how little you actually make doing this is kind of eye-opening. So here's the facts, guys. So where we make the most money is super chats, by far. By far. So if you all aren't super chatting, we're really not making much money at all. In fact, our biggest videos are shorts, not actual video content. The shorts make next to nothing. Yesterday we had 4,000 views, and over 3,000 of them were from shorts, and I made 6 cents.
Wow.
So people think you get rich doing this. The only way you can make this full time is if you have well over 10,000 subscribers and you are hitting thousands of views every single day, and you're going live multiple times, and you're getting lots of super chats. It's the only way you can do it.
Well, even if it's something I just do as a hobby, because It's fun for me. I love doing these shows.
Yeah, it's a
I
labor
love
of love. It's a hobby.
acting with people in the chat. It's fun.
It's a hobby. It's a labor of love. So if you ever hear people talking about super chats a lot when they're on YouTube, it's because that's really the only way they're getting paid. In all honesty, is through super chats and super thanks and memberships too. So, that's one of the reasons why people want to plug those things, because that's where they're getting money. And speaking of the devil, CW celebrates 10 months of memberships. Um, Thanks for all you do. Thank you, CW. Yeah. So like, and that's the thing too, is if you go to other channels, a lot of them have like tiered memberships, and we're like, look, we don't, $3.99, call it a day, and that's the best we can do. So um that's kind of our way of saying thank you, and you guys saying thanks to us, and we appreciate that. Bobby Mack with another $2 super chat. He said they call me Bobby Super Chat. We do here. You are today, brother. Man,
Bobby's great.
he's awesome. I met Bobby at the tailgate. Yeah. In fact, Bobby gave me a nice bottle
Yeah,
of
I
peaches.
wish I could have went and met you all this year.
What's that?
It
What was
would have
that?
been awesome.
Oh
I wish I
yeah.
could have went
Yes.
and met you all this year. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic. I would have loved that.
I'll meet you one of these days.
Matty Butcher said he's going to start a GoFundMe, and then he'll head on over. Nice. Sounds good. Dennis Moore with a $10 super chat. Love you, Wizards. Great show. Buy Miss Sarah some cold medicine. Thank you. Yes, we'll do. We'll do, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right, Mika. Anything else for the Wizard of Boggs tonight? And you got another question for me?
Love you, buddy.
All right, love you too. Have a good one, sis. Oh,
OH.
IO.
Night.
Night. All right, guys, that's where we're going to wrap her up, guys, right there. This was fun tonight. The Wizard of Boggs has been born. I think I'm going to have to add to this. This was fun. This was different. I think we will do something with this a little bit more creative next time when we do it. I won't do it too much because I don't want to overdo it, but every now and then we'll have to pull out the Wizard of Boggs, and we'll make it fun. But yeah, the $1 million Boggs, that's happening. We're gonna have to create something with that. Oh, nice of you to show back up Ryan Day's championship beard at the end of the show. Nice of you to do that. Yeah, I see you. Okay. All right. All right. Again, thanks, Lacey, for becoming our new wrench. Thank you for all the callers tonight. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Great show this evening. Enjoy your weekend this weekend, everybody. We'll try to have some new content for you at some point this weekend. I don't have anything in the kitty for you all tomorrow, so I don't know. We'll have to think of something. If not tomorrow, maybe Saturday. But then enjoy the Kentucky Derby for those of you who watch the Derby. I hope your horse wins if you decide to put some money down. And don't forget to come back Sunday night for the discussion roundtable, 8 o'clock Eastern. That's right. Our good friend and yours, Mike Wargo, the Rudy of Ohio State, will be here. It's going to be a great time. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH, St. Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart. Till next time, the great and powerful Wizard of Boggs says, OH, IO. Go Bucks.